forth. So they're all in the same boat. And some people might say, oh, it's a bubble. Yeah, but I think the market is sniffing out that this is where the puck is going, these quantum names. And you got to be there now at the beginning if you want to participate in the huge bull run ahead.
Yeah, you know, yesterday I know Iceberg Research put a short on quantum computing. It's a different company, and you probably get more folks attacking this. But I agree with you in the sense that what we saw from Google today, almost out of left field, just shows us how exponentially this stuff is growing. Even ChatGPT caught the world flat-footed. So quantum computing, Eric, I think to your point, is here to stay. We're going to have to bring you on from time to time as the shorts attack these names, but I think folks need to listen and at least do some of their own investigating. Thanks a lot, my man. All right, folks, Cheryl Casoni's in for Liz Clayman. Let's go to Cheryl.
All right, Charles, thank you very much, and welcome to the final hour of trading. I'm Cheryl Casoni. I'm in for Liz Clayman. We begin with a Fox market alert. Stocks are in wait-and-see mode ahead of tomorrow's big inflation gauge, the November CPI report. In the meantime, no records for the majors at the moment. The Nasdaq did hit an all-time intraday high at the open. Right now, it is national and international headlines that are stealing the spotlight. The extradition hearing of Luigi Mangione, that is the 26-year-old Ivy League graduate charged in the murder of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson, it just wrapped up moments ago. What we know at this point is that Mangione has been denied bail. He is fighting extradition to New York. And we want to show you this. You're looking live at the entrance to the Blair County Courthouse. This is in Pennsylvania, where earlier police brought him into the extradition hearing. We're going to have a live report on all of this coming up for you during the hour. Plus, an expert in healthcare security joins me with his take about corporate security in all of this. And the collapse of Syria's government sending shockwaves around the globe as rebel forces take control. And now President Bashar al-Assad seeks refuge in Russia. Israel striking Syria's navy overnight, destroying weapons left behind. Meanwhile, U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken says today that the United States, quote, fully supports Syria's political transition process. We're going to bring you a live report from Tel Aviv coming up next. But first, to a major market mover that we're watching. This is Oracle. Take a look at the stock on your screen. Stock is sinking to the bottom of the S&P 500. Right now, as you can see, it is down, pushing lower by almost 8%. Its revenue missed estimates amid fierce competition in the cloud space. Our floor show traders are eyeing the sector and telling you where you should put your money instead. Plus, two picks outside of tech that could deliver some major returns. Let's get to it with Great Hill Capital Chairman Thomas Hayes and Carnivore Trading CEO Dutch Masters. Guys, welcome to both of you. And Dutch, I'm going to start with you because you had an earlier call on the program about software application stocks. It didn't quite work out for you, that trade, the way that you had pictured. But is that something that you see kind of changing amid what you're calling a stretched market today?
Well, we saw the software application stocks come down as rates went up. And now that we've stabilized with rates and it looks like we're in front of potentially a rate decrease maybe for the next year or more, we're starting to see the software application stocks really move. We've had some fantastic run. Last month was an epic move for Carnivore and its sector rotation strategy. I think the portfolio was up 25% just for the month. And, you know, these are stocks that are big, and the sector is big, and they've got big, fat, liquid, beautiful, profitable stocks. We've got AppLovin, that's APP, and we've got ServiceNow and Vertex, VERX, Spotify, and Snowflake, and some of these are just a team. For example, Atlassian Corp. The beauty of this sector is that now that rates are not going up, and it looks like that the future will be lower rates. These are what we call long duration stocks. And so we're going to see, we think, a good 9, 12, 18-month move in the whole sector.
Well, and one of the things that you talk about in your research is fiscal and policy wildcards. And Tom, I want to take that to you because looking ahead to 2025, you're saying these are possible surprises. The U.S. dollar could weaken after the inauguration and that energy stocks could underperform, which I think is interesting. And I want to point this out to you. Wolf Research put out a note this morning. They say that the Trump trade is already running out of steam. They say uncertainty in the first half puts a damper on that trade. So in the meantime, they're focused on the Mag 7. How do you respond to that?
Well, thanks, Cheryl. I think to tag on what Dutch was talking about, his long duration trades, I think the biggest surprise of 2025 is going to be that the 10-year Treasury gets bid, yields compress. What we saw in 2016, after the election, Treasuries sold off, yields went up. After the inauguration of Trump, bonds got bid, yields compressed, and that's going to help Dutch's long duration trades. But we like simpler stocks. We like Boeing is a headline today. That one's still down 60%, and you can't give it away. But guess what? Kelly Ortberg is fixing the ship. He's got the union problem solved. He's got the 737 back on the line. He's got a $500 billion backlog over the next 10 years. So I think it's going to surprise people that Boeing continues to climb higher.
But the concern about Boeing, though, is that I think it's, correct me if I'm wrong, about 60% of the revenue, the payment for each plane doesn't come into the company until they actually deliver the aircraft. So that all of this delay has been one of the issues that hit the stock during the strike. You're not concerned about this backlog?
They've taken out a tremendous amount of cost, Cheryl. The backlog is solid. China is going to double its fleet by 2043. Oh, and by the way, you can only get planes from two vendors. One's called Boeing, one's called Airbus. The stock's down 60%. This is one you can tuck away. You can sleep well at night. And by the way, Kelly Ortberg is a turnaround specialist. At Rockwell Collins, in just 6 years, he quadrupled the shareholders' money before he sold the company. So I think he's going to do a tremendous job turning things around. He's on the floor in Seattle. Engineer, not a salesperson. We're going to see good things from Boeing in the next 2 years.
And you can see from the chart, Tom, that the stock is in recovery mode, as to be expected after that strike ended. And Dutch, I want to go back to you again and talk about that fiscal policy question mark as we are now, 40 days away from Inauguration Day. You're talking about those fiscal and policy wild cards, Dutch. I do want to get your take on federal deficits and stimulus because, Biden is throwing out more student debt payments. He made that announcement today. So there's more fiscal stimulus going in, more cost to taxpayers. On the other side, you've got Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy, and they're focused on $2 trillion in cuts and getting the fiscal house in Washington in order. How do you play that, though, as an investor as we wait?
I would say that, you got to get long this market. Okay, the Trump trade running out of steam, that's total garbage. It hadn't even started yet. Look at this dream team that he's put together. What happens if we cut government spending, rates come down, and he's able to lower the tax rates for individuals to next to nothing? This economy, the United States will become the most dominant player like ever on the planet that we've ever seen if they just let them do this. People will invest money in the markets. They will invest in people. They will grow their inventories. They will grow their businesses again. We're just getting started.
All right. Well, we shall see. I mean, certainly there's a lot of excitement around, in particular, in my mind, especially with dealing with nearly $36 trillion in debt that this nation is sitting on. Can we right the ship? And Dutch, you're saying that we can, and that would be great for the markets, obviously. Dutch Masters, Thomas Hayes, guys, thank you so much. It's great to see you both today. Appreciate your time. And we want to move to some things that are happening overseas right now. A lot is happening overseas. Israel is wasting no time right now in taking out Syrian military installations. They're